Hey everybody, following episode of Channel 451 Tunnel Talk was recorded on Monday, May 26, 2025, coming off of the men's-women's doubleheader that took place a couple of days ago at historic Keyworth Stadium. And if it's anything like our 451 WhatsApp chat, I'm sure more opinions will be had. Probably more so. I'm sure they might be a little bit more fiery for the first match than the second match, but who knows? We'll see. You want to find out? Go ahead, sit back, and enjoy this episode of Tunnel Talk. In the meantime, we go onward. Caw.
You are a community club. TCFC is a community-built club.
And it will always team is pitching a plan to revitalize a historic gem in our community, and it's a project that's driven by their passion for their sport.
State of disrepair right now. Concrete sort of crumbling a little bit. The bleachers.
Football club. We're at Keyworth Stadium. This stadium was built in 1936.
Indeed, it's amazing to see just how far they have come. Years ago, they were playing over at Gas Tech, and now so many people. 45 seconds that we scored the goal to really settle in.
The post and Stephon St. Louis is there to clear it.
Yeah, in the background, you know, they give us the 12th man. You know, it's also
fans to watch. We're happy to put on a show for all these guys that came out to see us play.
When we moved, they moved, and just communication's the biggest part.
Great. I think we could have earned a shutout earlier against Sparta in the year.
Awesome. You know, the atmosphere is amazing. Monday with the right foot. It's in the back
People know us now. People know what to expect. Now we gotta take it to another level.
Look, city till I die. Say hi to the bad fella. Hella smooth with the flow, so grab your umbrella. Yeah, we make it rain, bring the pain. Things are changing. Power rankings take a spanking, got them rearranging. They said Denise are all stars till we deboed all y'all. Ball of fist and brawl y'all. Yeah, we pissed off all y'all, and we thin but still winning. Grinning at the top, got a pundit head spinning, make that chin pop. Blue collar clocking in. They been mocking us for days till they step into the key, and they been leaving with a fade. Doubting us, but then they swayed. Say we pout, they throwing shade. You will never have what we have, time to get the blade. Cause we'll be cutting them up, yeah, we're shutting them up. We ain't bluffing, tell you something, better knuckle up. Y'all ain't nothing but chumps, we put in overtime. We'll be putting in work until it's closing time. City till I die, talking blood, sweat, and tears. City till I die, we've been building this for years. City till I die, this don't happen in a
that was interesting.
City till I die, sometime
let that be a lesson to all of us.
Yeah, let that be a lesson to all of you.
Yeah, never be in that situation when the door opens.
Well, speaking of getting slapped in the face.
Oh, shit.
Speaking of getting slapped in the face by a French woman, we're back. Record time in between episodes. But the women are playing on Wednesday, which is when we usually record. And of course, we're all going to see the women play. Minus those who have valid excuses. And also, we're just trying to get Walter off our back because he was not happy the last time with how much of a hiatus there was in between episodes. So we're coming in hot.
Gotta keep the listener happy.
Yes.
You don't say singular. There's more than one.
I meant it in general.
So obviously, well, there's plenty to talk about, but we will. Does anyone remember whose idea this was? I think it might have
to do a podcast.
No, well, I mean, so for anyone who's not been keeping up on the Detroit City social media, our good friend Jarrett Mackey has been doing a lot of work to try and come up with this list of legacy numbers. So he's basically assigned every single player in the history of the club a number, and it's kind of sequential based on what order they made their appearance in. So like Cyrus Sadie is like number 3 or something like that, because he made his debut at the very beginning back in 2012, and someone like Carlos Herrera is like 184 or something like that. I think I was complaining a little bit, if I'm being honest, because now these legacy numbers are like in everything. Even when the players come off, like if they're subbed off during the game, it's like leading the match now is Ben Morris, legacy number 421. So I can't. It was either Alan or Dennis who was like, "Oh, we should do legacy numbers for the 451 podcast," which I thought was a great idea. Adam thought it was a great idea.
I never commented on it. I never said.
I'm trying to give you credit, man.
I think it was actually Adam's idea originally.
And of course, last Thursday I didn't really want to work in the morning, so I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go back to the archive and figure out our very own 451 podcast legacy numbers. Number 1, the founder, the brains behind this juggernaut,
Rod Green.
Chloe, just one letter off, actually.
Sounds right.
Red, our good buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Our good buddy, Red.
Red Green?
Red Green.
Great
Red
show.
Excellent show.
So we've given him number 1. I think that's only appropriate.
Guess we have to.
Yeah. Number 2, now I don't know, some people may not remember this because this is going kind of far back. This is like 2019, 2020-ish. Number 2 is Ron.
Next.
Number 3 on the list. Now we're getting into the modern era. Now we're getting into the modern era of the 451 podcast. So this is 2022 probably. Kind of coincided with the start of the USL Championship. Red was trying to bring some additional people on. Number 3 was our very favorite Irishman, Dennis.
Dennis was the top 3.
I mean, it's not a ranking in order of most popular or most loved. It's just the order in which they appeared, following, the club's example. Number 4, some guy called Jamie. Number 5.
I fucking hate that guy.
I know, me too. Number 5, Alan.
Yay.
Number 5 was Alan.
Hey.
Number 6 was, in fact, Roderick Green Sr.
Pour one out for the homie.
We still don't know where Rod is. I still have his poster in my closet. I've been trying to get
a poster of him.
Oh, I wish it was a poster of Rod. No, it's one of them garage sales at the clubhouse. Do you remember what some of the years they did match day posters?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he'd seen one there, and he's like, oh, and I was in line. I was next in line. He was like, oh, could you grab me one? And then I'll get it from you later. And it's 3 years later, I still have it in my closet.
I think he offered Jaime $20 for it to get him one. And then I offered Jaime 21, and his wife Tammy wanted to beat me up again over it. So
yeah,
Rod was at the game, so you could have given him his poster.
Yeah.
One day it will happen, Rod. If you're listening, it's safe and sound. Okay, number 7, Kelly. She was on that first season with Alan and I. And did a really cool job of interviewing a lot of past players, and there was a name for it, I can't remember. Red was always good at coming up with names for things, like Tunnel Talk or something. Now I've included people who did guest appearances, not people who were interviewed for the podcast, but who did an episode or 2 here or there. So number 8. John Mazzina. I haven't seen him in years. Don't know if he still goes to games, but
he does. But he has long hair now, so you won't recognize him.
I have seen him since the long hair growth began, but I don't know how long it is currently. So,
long hair don't care.
Can you give us an update? Is it shoulder length? Is it waist?
I feel like it's roughly the length of my hair.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay.
He's still around, still doing his thing.
He still drums.
Nice. Perfect. Number 9, the one and only Sean Juice Grogan.
We may have heard on the women's broadcast Saturday.
Yes.
Now this is where it gets interesting. Number 10 in the 451 Legacy numbers is Garrett.
Who?
Again, I went through the archives. I found this name and I was like, when did this guy get on the podcast?
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Who else you got?
He's moved on to bigger and better things.
He has, yep. Used this as a springboard onto to further his career in the podcast sphere. Number 11 is Adam Hernandez, the one and only.
That is so awesome. Wait, what number am I?
11.
Oh, Isaiah Thomas. That's pretty sweet.
And Connor Rutz.
My favorite player.
Number 12, our good buddy Sean Spence was on for a few episodes, helping us break down the women's team a couple years back. Number 13, JR. I have no idea how to say his last name. I think it's French.
Boussicaut.
But we all know JR. How?
Boussicaut.
That's exact. That would have been like my fourth
Just how it's spelled.
Just how it's spelled. Number 14. And the list doesn't go much further than this. Number 14, Nick Finn. Hey.
I used to know that guy.
Yeah, legend of NGS Ann Arbor.
No, we all love Nick.
We do love Nick. And then number 15, our latest and greatest contributor, Jam. So that's
you know what, Jaime?
Yeah.
You're missing somebody actually.
Really?
Ooh, scandal.
Yes.
Okay.
You are missing somebody.
Ooh.
You are missing Roddy Green, who did appear on an episode with his dad one time.
He did, but wasn't that like part of the Red interview series?
No.
No?
No.
Do you think he's before or after JR? Because we'll give him 12.5.
I think he's before JR.
I would call his appearance a guest appearance.
I mean, some of these.
I guess we're counting guest hosts.
We'll give Roddy 12.5. Because I'm not reordering.
Oh, we're gonna have to send this back to the committee.
Yeah.
It's in shambles now.
I mean, why don't you go talk to the intern and see what the hell they were thinking and why they left out a DCFC legend like Roddy Green? That is pretty inexcusable. So please get that taken care of.
Fired.
Yep.
I was going to suggest to run the list by Red, but we know that he would add up like 10 people that don't actually exist.
Yeah, that would have been like the worst idea ever to run.
He would have added all of his Twitter burner accounts. It was like a grumpy bear or something like that.
He definitely would have added that stupid, that dumb bear that he came up with. What was it like? Grumpy. I think it was Grumpy the bear.
It might have been, yeah. It was like Friendly's alter ego.
Which I guess that should be on the list too, because Grumpy the Bear did make an appearance too on the podcast one time when Red put the head on, or he left and then came back, and then also when he came back it was Grumpy the Bear. So
I forgot about that one.
This has gotten so complicated.
Yeah. Well, never mind then. We'll be reordering these legacy numbers and representing them at a further date.
Once we get our
so
shit
it could
together.
be your chance to get added to the list. Just hit us up.
Yeah. All right. Well, nobody's happy about this, but we're going to talk about the men's team, and this is just going to be a safe space, a healing space. for everyone to just kind of get something off your chest, because this men's team is frustrating at the moment. It's hard to watch at the moment, and yeah, I feel like we need to take the negative energy and channel it into something even more negative. So,
That's our role. Hold on, let me write that down. That's gonna be we just got our episode title. That's great. I love when it writes itself like that.
We're gonna start with Alan, because I feel like there's some anger and some just some anger brewing. So Alan, the stage is yours.
Okay. All right, here we go. I'm not really that angry. I'm just disappointed.
Ooh, man.
That's exactly what my mom's gonna say when she sees this episode and I'm wearing a kappa.
Oh shit!
Oh,
oh no!
Big trouble.
Jaime is gonna be grounded for a week, and yeah. Oh no! We'll have to let Jam in on that. On the backstory to that, but yeah, sorry, Alan, go ahead.
I look at the last few games and I'm left wondering what's going on. So that's probably the question on most people's minds. Strong start to the season, scoring goals for fun. And now everything is just very difficult. So I wish I had a good diagnosis of what is going on, but I don't. I can't really say it's the players. Same set of players, really, that we had when we were scoring goals for fun. Tactics, they're pretty consistent. So, it could be tactical, but it could be that the teams we're playing are just doing better than we are. So that's annoying. The good thing is it's early in the season. Well, relatively early. And we have some time to sort this out. Will we? I don't know. But I just don't feel like what we saw against Charleston really is going to help the effort. Saw a number of problems coming out of that game. So, yeah, well, maybe it was just a bad day.
It's possible. I feel like the bad days are adding up.
Yeah. Well, winning is a habit, losing is a habit, and not getting points can be a habit. And we're into some habitual behavior right now.
Jam. Let it rip.
I guess I'm kind of like Alan. I'm not mad. I am annoyed. I am disappointed. Fortunately, I'm used to being annoyed by men that can't finish, but this is different because I'm paying for it. And
I'm laughing nervously.
We started out so good. And now we're not. And I feel like it's a situation where maybe slight tweaks are needed, but I don't know that a complete overhaul is the answer. Because there are small blips in the radar. I think that we just suck right now. But it's not because we're out there playing shitty. I also think that because, like how Alan mentioned, that tactics and whatnot have not really changed all that much. Is this just a case of everybody else has figured us out? And again, not that we need to like do a complete overhaul and change every fucking thing we're doing, but like those little bits and pieces here and there, like we need to make some kind of tiny changes, because I like everybody watches us. These teams are looking at tape. They know what we do, and the fact that it hasn't changed, even though it's not wrong, like, has everybody just figured us out? I think we need to keep everybody else on their toes, because that's what I've noticed is it's like the other teams, it's just too easy. It's not even like they're having to fight to pick us apart or grab those mistakes that we make. They know what mistakes we're gonna fucking make, and they go with that. So the problem is when not winning becomes a habit, like, how do you get out of that? Like, these guys need either a kick in the ass, some kind of crazy win, something, because this is not gonna fucking work. Like, ugh. Like, Charleston is one thing because it's Charleston, but like we should have won 3 other matches that we fucking didn't. So
They need some type of
together.
they need some type of soccer Viagra to help them finish, right?
Yeah, it probably would help with the D too, because that seems to be lacking.
It would help keep the D up. It would help keep the D up. I mean, that's to help them finish.
You need a strong D. You need a strong D.
You need a strong D. But that's where the fucking mistakes are right now too. I mean, sure, we could also be scoring way more goals, but where I feel like the mistakes are being made is what we're calling a back line right now.
Agree.
So yeah, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. My needs are not being met. Let's get it fucking together.
Adam, I don't know if you can top that, but I believe in you.
Yeah, that's a tough one to follow. I don't think. I mean, yes, losing to Charleston sucks because it's Ben and it's Charleston, and yeah, that shit sucks. The thing is, though, Charleston is a good team, so there isn't any shame in losing to them ultimately. The problem, though, with what we're seeing is yes, I think things have gone stale with this team in the execution. So tactically, there may be some things obviously that need to be changed around. I know we're going to be getting to it in the next segment here when we talk about things that we want to see changed. I mean, in all honesty, though, I mean, this men's team, yes, they are better. This may be the best men's team that we've seen assembled since we've come into USL Championship. So they have options. I mean, if this was happening back in 2022 or even last year, then yeah, you could say that things are really bad. And I don't know how they're going to get better. The good thing about this team is there are other options. There are other options on the bench. There's other combinations you can use up front, in the middle. One thing that sucks right now is Jope is out, and it looks like he's going to continue to be out for quite some time. And just like in any other sport, there's tape out there on you. There's tape out there on Darren Smith. Darren Smith is our best player, probably, at least up front. I don't think there's any question about that. However, when enough time goes by, that tape is out there. Teams figure it out. I mean, that's a coach's job, is to review tape and figure out how you can best tactically go up against, another team's best player. And Ben is a good coach, and he obviously knows how to do that. Good coaches know how to neutralize the opposition's team's best players. And that's what's been happening in recent weeks. And yeah, there needs to be some changes. It was good to see Steven back Saturday as a sub. That was, his presence still, and this is great to see just because of who Steven is and what he means to, this team, how much he is still valued and how much he's still needed on this team. So that's still good to see. And that option is still there. If they would have subbed on Steven and they still played like shit, then yeah, okay, well, shit, what are we going to do now? Even with Steven out there, who's been an anchor on that back line, he can't solve it. Yeah, that's a problem. But when he did go out there, there was, they did have a spark. But like I said, there are other options as well. And again, too, the thing with this City team as well is I didn't think that this was a team that was going to blow the doors down in the East and just, run over everybody. So shit like this that's happening right now is going to happen. It's a long season. Like you said, Alan, it's still somewhat early. So there is still time to get this changed around. But that's obviously what needs to happen. It needs to happen sooner rather than later, because before you know it, it's going to be September. And we're going to be looking down, some of these final stretches of the season. And, if you don't get things changed around now, then you're going to be sitting on the back end of the of the playoff table here in, trying to fight your way in with teams like Indy or, who else?
Miami.
Maybe Miami. Yeah. So, yeah, certain things need to change. Certain things need to be adjusted. Saturday sucked, but there's options out there, I think, and unlike previous seasons, which is a good thing ultimately.
So let's put our thinking caps on. If you could change one thing, this is I think the critical question. If you could change one thing, you're Danny Dichio for the day. You have full control over the team, over the little dry erase board. You can tell the kit man what to do. One possible solution, like to try and right the ship a little bit.
Is it only have to be one? Can I say multiple things?
You can say multiple, yeah.
Okay.
You give each one of your suggestions could have a legacy number.
Can I go first?
Yeah, bring it.
Okay. First, we need to switch to the white shorts at home. I think that could offer up a real boost to this team if they were to switch to the white shorts and maroon top. Shut up, Jaime.
I have been campaigning for this for.
Well, okay, great. I thought you were gonna.
No, I think it would look way better, and if you look better, you play better. So
that's right.
Yeah, I'm all for this.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Jaime. Thank you. And I apologize for jumping the gun there and telling you to shut up because I thought you were going to disagree with me.
I forgive you.
2. Yeah, it's probably not going to be popular with a lot of people, but Michael Bryant needs to sit. He needs to sit. That second goal that Charleston scored, I'm not going to say Michael Bryant was the sole reason why City lost that match on Saturday. That is not the case. However, he was solely responsible for that second goal. That guy was that guy was like 5 yards in front of him, left wide open, and when you have an opportunity like that, Carlos Herrera has no shot whatsoever to stop that. So, and Michael hasn't looked good for large stretches of this still young season. I think this team has been very fortunate with Michael and what they've been able to get out of him. He is one of those NISA All-Stars, so I know that there's there's kind of that sentimental value, as far as where we came from and everything like that. But like I said, he hasn't looked good. He's looked sloppy, especially coming out of the back. And there's just been those, unfortunate, costly mistakes like what we saw on Saturday that isn't going to win you games, obviously. And it's just, I was talking with a friend the other day, and he took a look at the roster and the starting lineups, and I think Michael has started every single game this season while everybody else has been rotated out at some point, which is crazy to think about. And I'm not, and like Michael isn't, again, Michael, there is a place on this team for Michael Bryant. There is a place in this league for Michael Bryant. I'm just not convinced anymore that it is on a starting 11 on that back line, because I think we have better options available to us there. Once Steven comes back, are we really going to put Shane Wheat back on the bench in favor of Michael Bryant? I mean, does Michael Bryant, when it comes to his play, does he deserve to keep on holding on to that spot on that back line? Now, in all fairness, he did look better when Steven came back on, but one of our big problems this year has been, especially in recent weeks, is holding on to leads, when that has never been an issue really for Detroit City in the past. Detroit City's MO has been defense, holding on to leads. And when we look at that back line, who are we going to take out? Are we going to take out Devin? No, Devin is arguably our best defender. Are we going to take out Steven? No. Steven has made this team... Steven made the team look better when he was subbed back on Saturday. So that leaves, a couple of other options there, and I would like to see a back line without Michael Bryant on it, just to see how it looks. Other than that, up front, well, not really up front, but more so in the middle. Atis Diop, can we please find a way to get this guy some starting minutes? Please, 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 please. Again, he provides that spark. He's a creator, something that we need. And again, he's a guy who hasn't played a whole lot, so there isn't a whole lot of tape on him when it comes to playing with Detroit City. So let's get him out there. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can create. Let's see what type of shit, gets started with him helping create plays up front for Darren Smith. I think we're long past that at this point right now to see more of Atis Diop. Because in all fairness, too, Atis Diop wasn't a Pelosi signing. Everybody was excited. This was a big signing for Detroit City, was getting Diop on loan from Lexington. And we haven't seen much of him at all this year. So please, 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 can we get some Diop in the starting 11? Those are the two big things aside from the shorts.
Even off the bench, like he's not, like you say, he's not even had minutes off the bench really, and
no,
we haven't had anyone apart from that one game when Smith came off the bench in Phoenix or whatever. We've not really had anyone come off the bench and like change the game. I don't feel like.
No, and Jaime, it's not like he's coming out and looking good against fucking Gold Star, like when Adrian Billhart came on, was it 2 seasons ago now, and everybody said, oh, we need to see Adrian Billhart out there because he looked good against Gold Star. It's like, no, whatever. Diop has come out and looked good against USL Championship caliber teams. USL Championship teams.
Yeah.
He looked good against Charleston, and he almost created a goal for Darren Smith against Charleston late. And every single time that I've seen him on, he's had a high motor. He's created. And I don't know why. I have no idea why he's not getting those minutes, whether it's in starting 11 or meaningful minutes off the bench. I'm not talking about coming in with, in the 88th minute, to kill off time. So.
Love the passion. Love the passion.
Thank you.
Jam, what's your magic bullet for this team?
So I consulted the Facebook group, and they said we should sign a striker.
Who's available?
They've never been wrong
yet. The answer to all of our problems.
Let's sign a striker.
Sign a striker.
I hope Trevor's listening and he's able to get
Trevor.
that. Yeah.
You know where to find me. I am not your striker. But maybe I can find one. I think, actually, Adam, did you copy my list? Because Atiz Diop was on mine.
I did copy it.
Where is he? Like, we need more of him. I think that is a huge one. And honestly, I would like to see more of both Haruki and Shane Wheat. Like, they're in there. But again, it was more of these are guys that not everybody has seen a lot of. We don't really fully know what they can do, but every time they're out there, like, they're doing what the fuck they're supposed to do. And it is a game changer. Like, and I don't know if it's a matter of necessarily, like, throwing these guys in always in the starting lineup, or is it maybe a case of earlier subs? Like, again, I don't think we need a full overhaul of anything, but like, what's the difference that maybe like 10 minutes or so would make if we start bringing some of these guys in a little bit earlier than the last few minutes of the game to try to right the ship really fast right at the end of anything? Like, I would like to see more halftime subs.
I think that's a really fair point, and I think that is something that maybe we felt a little bit of frustration with towards the end of the Trevor James era, is that it was like, well, we're no subs until like the 80th minute, and by then the game's already over, it's already decided, so what was the point? Like, I think to your point, we'd gone down 2-1 just before the halftime whistle on the weekend, and then, we wait another 30 minutes, or not 30 minutes, but like another 15 minutes, and until after we're already down 3-1 before we make any kind of changes. And it's just like,
yeah, like, let's see it sooner. I mean, it can't possibly hurt any more than what we're doing.
Yeah, I agree with that one big time.
So yeah, that's basically it. Minor changes, earlier subs. That feels good.
Alan? You studied the ways of Pep Guardiola over the years.
Oh, pass the ball around more. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Stevie back. Let's say he's ready to go, match fit. Is that going to allow Danny to switch to a back three and do more with the midfield? Because I feel like kind of the current formation was meant to cover Stevie's absence. And I'll be honest, watching Michael Bryant play, he just doesn't look very comfortable in the role he's been given. Now, yeah, he's a very flexible player and will do whatever he's asked to do. But I think at a certain point, you want to maximize the players you have and give them a role that they can excel at. And I think he's been kind of stuck on the back line and not given a lot of space. There is some, but so I maybe change that up. He has been playing a lot of minutes. So I but I think the idea that we might be in a tactical rut that seems the most likely thing that could be changed easily, because we have a lot of resources in terms of players you can bring in and change things up, and sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. But so I guess those are the two things: is just like maybe rethink the back line, and that rethinking the back line will affect the midfield. I am a little concerned with Darren Smith. He's gotten really cold in terms of his performances, but I think he also relies on getting decent service too. So that's something that needs addressed. These are all fixable issues. We've got the right players. We just need to maybe utilize them better. I wish we could have done better in the last few games, because those were the games to possibly try out something. And well, now we went in the game with Charleston, which we knew was going to be a difficult game. We go to Portland. I mean, who knows? But that might be an opportunity to change things up, because it's a Jaeger Cup match. Who gives a shit? And then we have Loudoun, and Loudoun's been doing very well despite their off the pitch issues. So we got to shape it up, and then we're heading into the summer season where it's going to be hot as fuck, and it's typical issues that we always see with those. Those are difficult games because of the conditions. So I just feel maybe a little bit of urgency, not a lot of urgency to address this stuff, but I think the time is now.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Michael Bryant wasn't brought in as a defender, was he? He was a midfielder.
No.
He was a midfielder.
He played
He was willing to do what he was asked to do.
Yeah.
So he showed some flexibility in terms of being okay in some of these different positions, but I don't think he was meant to be a left back.
I mean, again, the thing is too, is we have seasoned professionals who have played plenty of minutes on the back line. Like Shane Wheat, Maury Donor. I mean, where the hell has Maury Donor been?
The fourth best right back in the Western Conference, Adam.
Yeah. I don't know if he's hurt. I mean, we don't. Nobody knows what's going on with Maury Donor. I mean, I'm not again. Yeah, I think Michael needs to rest. I think he needs to come off the bench for a little bit. Moving forward. But again, yes, I said I want to see him out of the starting 11. But if I'm going to look at it again, I mean, at some point, if you want to put him back in the starting 11, you can put him back on defense or put him back in the midfield. See how things go in the midfield. If you want to start him against Portland in the midfield, I want to see something different happen with him. Because right now, I don't think it's working with what he's being or what he's being asked to do at this point anymore. Because again, we talked about that tape that gets out there. The tape is out there on Darren Smith and how to neutralize that. And I think you're right, Alan. I think he needs that quality service into it. Tape's been out on Michael, and it's time to change it up. So.
Alan alluded to this. The boys travel to play Portland Hearts of Pine. What kind of a name is that? On the weekend, it's the Jägermeister Cup. We're not going to do
pine trees in Portland, I've heard.
Yeah, that makes sense, I suppose.
That game is sold out.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're a hot commodity in
What?
Portland.
Alan, are you going to that game?
I am. I'm looking forward to it.
When do you leave?
Friday.
Friday. Huh. So we have a correspondent. Are you actually going to go this time, or is it going to be like that time you're going to go to Indy and didn't go?
Well, I have a game ticket, so it's looking good.
Hot commodity.
I don't know. Once you're in Portland, things can get wild. So
Yeah, remember, what happens in Portland stays in Portland, Alan.
yeah, well,
And that's not even the good Portland
because
either.
It's a
It's
little
Portland,
town.
Maine. So
yeah.
It is the good Portland. It's not the shitty hipster Portland.
this is the good. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this is the good Portland.
Alan
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
know this yet, but he's agreed to do a travel log series. So we've got a camera crew going down with him. They're gonna explore all the local hot spots, where to eat, where to drink.
They'll be lost on a canoe.
And what I was going to
Looking
say
up
too, I
some
was
river.
going to ask Alan. I'd be like, that this is Portland, Maine, and not Portland, Oregon, right? But it's Alan.
Shit.
Of course he knows. Of course he knows. If this was red, you would have to double check. Like red, this is Portland, Maine, not Portland, Oregon, right? Because red would have gone to Portland, Oregon, and wanted to know where.
And that's how you end up in a road trip situation.
Yes. Yes, you have to let us know how it goes, Alan. Alan,
I will.
our correspondent on the ground in Portland.
That's right. I will make sure that everyone's kept fully informed. And but yes, they have a small stadium, but they've had a great start. It's a new club, so they seem to be caught on quite well there. And we'll see up close what's going on there.
Had a delegation of sorts that came to Keyworth a few weeks ago. Well,
that's
probably
right,
a month or so ago.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to do the lower league soccer thing from Detroit City FC. So, and you being a local celebrity, Alan, try to,
Well, yeah.
No, just be careful. Be careful. Do we have the
Yeah,
451 bodyguards, like security team, to follow Alan
No,
down
we'll
there?
have the 451 credit card though. I don't know what mischief I'll get into, but I'm sure the
That's
podcast
cool.
will pay for all of it.
I think payments are automatically deducted from Red's personal checking account still. So,
good.
Have fun.
One of the things he probably regrets is leaving the PIN number with us.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Maybe not his best choice ever. All right, women's team. A little bit happier news. 0-0 tie. But they didn't lose, so that's good. Alan, I think you said they played a lot better, but it may be too late or something along those lines. What is your vibe on where things stand? It is a little bit. All these games are important because only the top team makes the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think that's important to note from the division.
Yeah, it's kind of a different story than last year in terms of the opposition. The division as a whole is better. At least through the games so far, we're kind of lagging behind in terms of games played. I think Ann Arbor's played 4 games already, so there's only 10 games in the regular season. So very little time to make up points, but not quite lost yet. But Ann Arbor is doing well. We knew it was going to be a challenging match against Macomb, just given their personnel. So maybe a scoreless draw is not the worst thing in the world, but we got to start scoring some wins here, or we're going to be out of the picture, really quick. So those opportunities are coming. We're going to be playing Toledo this Wednesday. So Wednesday, Toledo seems to be bringing up the bottom of the pack here. So we might get a better sense of where we are. But
they got their first win on the weekend, though. So, I mean, I do think that, like, all these teams are probably beatable. Like, I think teams are going to drop points here and there. Like, I think it's probably going to be... There's no one... It doesn't seem like so far that there's anyone like... What was the team that everyone killed last year?
Cleveland Force.
Cleveland Force. So, yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Jam. Expert opinion. Who do you think we can get some more goals from?
I mean, I would like to see some more goals from everybody.
Seeing as we've only scored 1 in 2 games.
Yeah, they're gonna need. I just need everybody who can score a goal to figure out how to do that. I mean, as soon as possible, because while it's not over with so few games, I mean, we also get spoiled coming off of the indoor season because that team always just fucking destroys everybody. And so we get this high from the wintertime women's indoor matches. And then, at least for me, and I'm sure it's the same for others, is like, once the outdoor season starts, you just expect the same. And unfortunately,
why aren't they scoring 12 goals a game?
Yeah, like, that's not how the fuck it works, because it's completely different. But you expect that. Also, Pride Raiser is coming, and I need all of the goals. Like, at this point, everybody looks decent. I missed watching the first match, so really this last one was the first time I actually got to pay attention and watch the women play. And I think overall, as like a cohesive team, like, they look pretty decent. But I don't know who is going to be our big goal scorer this year. Like, I would love it to be one of those seasons where everybody goes out and just scores 1 or 2 throughout the season.
Yeah.
Just because that's always fun, and we have such a large roster of women, like, that can easily change week to week who we're even going to see.
Yeah. And they were a little bit unlucky on the weekend. They hit the post once and the crossbar once. So I thought Ella Kane looked really good when she came on. She had a lot of speed up top, and but again, just a little bit unlucky with the shots that she took. So that might be a name that we see pop up. And again, like you said, there's so many players in the squad. Like, we still haven't seen everyone make their debut yet, and so there could be some players that are yet to arrive or yet to get into a match day squad that could definitely help with that as well. So, Adam, we were all a little bit nervous knowing that Gabby wasn't going to be in the team this summer, Shriver, but I thought Allison Lapointe was spectacular on Saturday and really good on against Ann Arbor too, but I thought she was phenomenal on the weekend. What was your take on our new goalkeeper?
I think obviously she's the reason why we were able to come away with a point Saturday. So yeah, I think that Gabby's absence, who knows if Gabby's even going to come back. It seems like it's still very early, but things look promising with Allison in net for them. So that's a good thing, just because how good Gabby has been for City over these past few years.
Was she in the team of the year in USLW last year? I think she was.
I think she was. Yeah, I think she was. I am concerned though about this team, and it basically boils down to just how long this season is.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of time. There's not a lot of room for error in this league. And based on what they did in indoor, but more importantly, what they did last season outdoor, that those standards are raised. And it may be a better league that they're in right now, but just because they're in a better league, that doesn't minify the standard that they set for themselves heading into this season based on what they did last season. I'm mostly concerned. I didn't watch the opener either, just because I was riding the Avatar ride in Disney World. I was away from my an opportunity to watch it. But if they looked better than this last game than what they did that first game in Ann Arbor, that's not great to hear. Mainly because I don't think they looked all that great this past Saturday. Namely the second half. I thought they were getting taken off the ball way, way too easily in that second half. And they were going up against a Union Macomb team, or Macomb Union, whatever the hell they're called, that wasn't, that shouldn't have been physically overpowering like they seemed to have been in that second half. This wasn't a team that was insanely bigger than Detroit was. I mean, they matched up size-wise pretty much the same. I mean, and they were just getting taken off the ball left and right. They couldn't get anything going out of their own 18. I mean, any time they tried to get, they moved the ball to midfield in the second half, it just seemed like they were immediately taken off the ball, or they were getting very, very sloppy with their passes out of their own end. There were just these errant passes that were going nowhere or to the other team, and Union was just, marching it back into City's own end. And that's concerning. That's concerning mainly because of just how little time we have this, in the regular season, and how little room for error there is. So I am concerned. We need that get right game. Hopefully it's Toledo, and we can come out, even stronger over the weekend against Midwest, because I think that's who we have on Saturday.
Yeah, I think so. Also,
I
just wanted to add, fuck Union Macomb for putting their women's players in white shorts. That's so gross.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Were you gonna say something about that?
No, I wasn't gonna say that, but I did. Yeah, I remember hearing somebody else say something about that too during the match, about the Union Macomb team playing in white shorts.
Soccer teams, stop putting your women in white shorts.
So,
yeah,
I think that's a fair point. I'll just say this though. We did have at the club that I coached for, we had like a players advisory board or something, and the last uniform cycle we got an all white kit, and apparently that was the girls' choice. Like, they wanted it. So just tossing it out there. I don't know.
That's fair. Everybody I know that plays is like, please never, don't want this. Thankfully, our team does not do that. But it's just, I don't know, it's weird. Like, they're already cut so differently than the men's, and the way that women, like, wear them. Like, let's not add one more thing for, like, I don't know. As a woman, it just feels weird.
Yeah.
I'm the big
most
proponent
teams
in having
have-
the men play in the women's shorts.
No,
Did you hear what I
that seems
said?
like a really bad accident waiting to happen. So many things could go wrong there.
Sorry, Alan, what were you saying?
I was saying most teams, higher level teams, in the top leagues aren't putting their women in light colored shorts anymore. So, it's it seems like a thing that should be you shouldn't have to like make players uncomfortable that way. So, and there's always changed colors, so it just don't do it.
One other thing too is unrelated to the shorts is I hope we get to see more of Lily playing this year. She wasn't out there Saturday, and that's a big piece of the offense not there. And that could have been a massive advantage for City, considering I'm sure how well Lily might know a lot of those players on the other team, since that is, correct me if I'm wrong, a national-based team, which is where Lily comes from. Ava was out there as well. I don't know if Ava got subbed in or not.
No, I don't think she played on Saturday.
I think she was rostered though, I believe.
Yes, and she played on against Ann Arbor, but
okay.
Yeah.
So
it crossed my mind that maybe they were not playing for a reason.
It's possible. I mean, she was there, but obviously not dressed.
And Ava Lancer too just committed to Rice, so congratulations to her.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So yeah, Wednesday night, 7:00, Keyworth, Detroit City Women against Toledo Villa. Go support the women. And that's mainly it for tonight. I do have for years, Garrett would always like put out the email address at the end of episodes, like 451det@gmail. I thought that was a joke. Like, I thought he just made that up because he like wanted something to say at the end. But it turns out it actually is a real functioning email address. So apparently some people write in comments, suggestions. So I thought I'd read some because it's like, they've gone to the trouble to write into the podcast. So this first one says, "Can you please record 2 episodes per week? Keep up the great work." And that's from Walter.
No,
Walter.
No.
So some people can't get enough of us. Some people would probably say, "Could you record 2 episodes per year?"
Yeah.
But lovely to hear from Walter as always.
We love Walter.
All right, so this next one, Alan, how many scarves do you currently own? That's from Yorgos. I don't know if you know of this person, but
probably some red burner.
I
was just assuming these are all red.
I would say about 100 scarves, and if any of them are missing, I'm gonna know that it's you who took them.
Someone's been snooping.
Just stay away from my scarves.
Scarf thieves, coming in.
It's a huge problem.
Yeah,
I hear.
Tried to steal one of them at the indoor match of yours, Alan.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right. That was terrifying.
This one's addressed specifically to Jam. So it says, "Jam, what is your opinion on ginger men?" And that's from Sean N in the D. It says.
I wonder who that is.
I would like ginger men better if they hung out and came to Thursday dinner and got beers with me like they used to, but such is life.
Well, sounds very specific. Now, go ahead, Adam.
I was gonna say I have one too that was given to us on Spotify.
Oh, okay. Let me read this one first, and then you can read yours.
Okay.
I'm going to try and do the inflection because this is written in all caps.
Oh, jeez.
So, says, Adam, you don't know ball, and neither does Dennis, so just shut it. And that's from Miguel.
Miguel.
There's no.
Was it from
the email address. I don't know if I can disclose this. This might be confidentiality breach. But it says it looks like the last name might start with the letter B. I don't know. One of our Spanish language listeners apparently. So I don't know if you have a response to that, Adam. I always have felt like you know ball. But
we can't please everybody. So I'm sorry you feel that way, Miguel.
This is what I think of.
We did get one from Spotify, and they go, love the program and wish that it was produced more. But based on the performance on the pitch lately, I would not want to talk with people about it because the team seems to just not want to move forward and get younger. The team needs to be playing something more than just the dump and run to Smith. And this came from CS_fair.
Okay, but like, how do they get younger? Who has a time machine? And it isn't in a hot tub.
I think I don't know, like, when somebody makes that statement, they want them to get younger, it just seems like they base that on other sports they watch where, there's just this very streamlined system of players that get drafted, go through a minor league system like it is with the Red Wings or the Tigers, and at some point get inserted into, the starting lineup on the big team. When Detroit City doesn't really have that. They have a 2-team this year, from what I've heard, is actually, more so legitimate, somewhat lower league players who some were professional and, and they're actually pretty good. Jam was there too a couple of weeks ago.
It was really fun.
Yeah, against the what was it? The Metro Detroit FC or something. It was the last remaining remnants of Gold Star, and I think I remember Juice saying that they were maybe going to be one of the bigger tests on the schedule because they were comprised of some former professional players from Gold Star. And I don't want to put words in Juice's mouth, but I want to say that maybe kind of what he was getting at. And they destroyed him. I think the final was like 4-0. It wasn't even close. Detroit City FC 2 looked really, really good. But this is the first year that they actually have like a 2-team that has players that, maybe at some point could come up and, kind of serve that, an emergency role on, coming off the bench. I don't think there's anybody on that squad right now that you would even think about putting in and starting, in the starting 11. And even last year too is full of like academy kids. That was the 2-team last year, and they got, annihilated every single week that they were out there. So, I mean, I think it's really easy to go out and say you can get, why not just get younger? It's a lot easier said than done. It seems like you're not going to go out there and just start, plugging in DCFC 2 players into the starting lineup, the starting 11.
And we've got rostered senior players who aren't playing very much.
Right. Yeah.
So where's the space for bringing in, a 19-year-old on the 2-team who's promising? Really the time to do that would have been the cup games, and that was just not the choice. So, maybe next year. But I think there was a realization that the gap is just too much now that the academy, the approach was to build up from the academy, and that is just not doing it. So this year there was a change in philosophy, and they went out and recruited some local players, and and that made a big difference. So I think we got to let this play out and see how it goes. But none of those players are probably. They may be practicing with the senior squad, which would be a good experience for them, but none of them are going to slot right in. It's just not that. It's not that type of program yet. Maybe it'll be there eventually. It's like, why don't more academy players play on the Premier League teams? Well, they do occasionally, but it's not. You're not going to build a team around those guys.
And that's what I'm saying too, Alan. I mean, I think American fans, especially American supporters, just they get the wrong idea when it comes to, like a 2-team, a first team, as compared to, the Detroit Tigers and the Toledo Mud Hens, or the Detroit Red Wings and the Grand Rapids Griffins, where the gap is a lot closer together,
right? As
opposed to, it's easy to measure this out. I mean, Detroit City FC plays in the USL Championship, which is the second tier of the American Pyramid underneath MLS. DCFC 2 plays in the UPSL, which unofficially is the fourth tier of the American Pyramid, if you can even, if that's even the case anymore, because the fourth tier, quote unquote, has been, a complete mess the past few seasons with, namely the NPSL and all the shit that's been going on with them. And, you've got a new league starting in the League of Teams or the League of Clubs, whatever the hell it's called now.
The League for Clubs.
The Club of Leagues. Who knows?
So bad.
So I mean, it's not the same thing. And even our most promising, again, quote unquote, young player, Dominic Gasso, has looked a little out of sorts even this season playing with the first team, and he's been, playing with the first team for, a couple of years now. So I don't think that something like that is you're not going to just get younger overnight. Getting younger, actually, I think, for in large part, starts this season with, a legitimate 2 team, which it seems like they have now.
That's all, folks. Hope you've enjoyed a lovely Memorial Day weekend. Don't forget to make your Pride Raiser pledges. Go support the women on Wednesday. And we will catch up with you down the road.
Definitely not twice a week, though.
City till I die, say hi to the bad guy. Pretty gritty in the key, you see our flag fly, chin check, hashtag we came to sweep the leg. With all disrespect, the rules will bruise your head. 2012 the scene pop, we came to clean clocks. Your team is dream drop, we gave some mean knocks. Stomping on the count, yeah, we chomping on the bit. Many came and went, but they ain't stopping none of it. Community built, community owned. Roasting foes coast to coast, leave your hope postponed. Spirit of Detroit, lemons the lemonade. Yemen and Bangladesh make a stronger